Welcome to Spotlight Sessions, where we shine
What's
a light
your
on
story?
incredible. What does accessibility mean to you?
What's your mission? Welcome all to accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions, where we shine a light on incredible individuals and organizations and the work that they do. I'm your host, Josh Basil. I'm a C4-5 quadriplegic, paralyzed below my shoulders, and a power wheelchair user. I'm the Community Relations Manager at accessiBe and a passionate disability rights advocate and trial attorney, focused on breaking down barriers to access and inclusion for people with disabilities. Today on accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions, we're joined by Jocelyn Hunter, the Senior Director of Communications for the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. Welcome, Jocelyn.
Thank you, Josh. Happy to be here.
Well, I'm even happier to have you on the program. So just thank you so much for being here and having your time and sharing your journey with us. But tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you. This year marks 19 years since I've worked at Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. It was 19 years this past February, so 19 and counting. And it's a pleasure, it's an honor to work here at Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. I started in 2005, February of 2005, in an entry-level position working in our headquarters in the DC office. And then shortly into that role, there was an opening where I applied and was hired to fulfill the role of marketing and volunteer specialist. And from there, I have had increased responsibilities and gained so much knowledge and information from subject matter experts and current and former team members, colleagues, consumers. It's been a delight.
And other than like your connection for working for Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind, what is your connection with the blind and low vision community?
Thank you, Josh. Great question. I am visually impaired. I have a rare retinal disease, and that connection certainly gives me even greater passion and determination to deep dive into CLB's mission to serve our community and to elevate the awareness of CLB services here in the Washington, D.C. region so that we can reach people who need the services either directly to them, their caregivers, healthcare providers, and other stakeholders.
Can you dive a little deeper into maybe some of those specific services that the DC area gets to benefit from your great work?
Certainly. Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind is headquartered here in the nation's capital, and we serve the entire Washington, D.C. region. Our service center is located in downtown Silver Spring in Montgomery County, Maryland. And that location is home to our low vision clinic, as well as our Foundations of Adjustment to Blindness program, where we provide essential daily living skills instruction. Our Associate Director of Rehabilitation Services, Annie, teaches those adult participants skills such as orientation and mobility, how to travel independently from one location to a destination, whether that's navigating with the use of a cane to the metro bus stop or to the nearby pharmacy, or navigating the neighborhood. Additionally, the Foundations of Adjustment to Blindness program teaches skills such as preparation of meals, how to use different appliances to prepare your meals, how to make your bed, how to organize your space so that you can remain productive and independent in your home, even with the loss of vision.
It makes so much sense to be able to like have a program like that gives you the ability to practice, to gain confidence, to put in elements of safety because it's it's a scary world to like be thrown in something and be like, all right, go figure this out. You've got these new unique abilities. Like, oh, you're on your own, but like to not be on your own is just sounds like the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. It's just that's life changing right there.
It is, Josh. The FAB program is terrific and is quite transformative. Meeting someone from the early onset of the week long program to even midweek, let alone by the end of the program on Friday, is quite transformative. Seeing that person regain confidence in themselves and more abilities to navigate with the cane, how to have greater awareness of their environments and access to technology and other techniques for greater mobility, greater independence in their lives. And it's really a launching pad for those individuals to move forward with their life plans, whether that's entry into employment, re entering college, vocational training, enhanced communication with family and friends because they have a new skill set to communicate online or travel independently via Metrobus or Metro Rail or other transit systems to connect with the community. It does. It makes a tremendous difference.
I love that. That's
And we
such a
also teach
meaningful.
orientation. It is so useful. And mobility to people of all ages. We teach youth in schools how to travel independently with the use of a lone cane. It's very important.
Well, anybody in the Washington D.C. area needs to have that touch point with the Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind, and it's. I know I just said it earlier, life changing, but it's like you're part of their journey to get them out of their home in the community and
Yeah.
living a life whatever they choose to do next. And that's such a beautiful thing. And I guarantee that's come with a lot of memorable experiences that you've probably had at the organization. Can you share any stories that you're most proud of or that have had a lasting impact on you?
I will share a couple. One is from the beginning of my career here at Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. It dates back to 2007, so just a couple years, 2.5 years after I started my career here at Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. I was honored as Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind's Employee of the Year, which is part of a program that National Industries for the Blind organizes. It invites each of its associated agencies to nominate an employee of the year. And I was nominated by my colleagues at the time, and I had an opportunity to travel to Chicago, to the Chicago Lighthouse that hosted the other agencies for this conference. And it was amazing. It was so informative and inspiring to go to see this other agency, Chicago Lighthouse, and interact with other team members and meet other individuals through National Industries for the Blind. It was encouraging, inspiring, and it provided even greater motivation to serve our region here through Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind. So that's one.
I believe that you were nominated for that because you are awesome, and every single time I get a touch point with you, it's just I'm always so impressed with everything that you do and continue to do. So just thank you
Thank
for doing what you do and being an incredible team member for CLB.
thank you. Thank you. Appreciate your kind words, Josh. Another memory is really a series of memories. They're touch point full circle experiences. When I started my career at Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind, I again began in an entry level position, which also included organizing data of participants into our annual Camp Lighthouse. And my first summer, I had an opportunity to experience Camp Lighthouse by recruiting volunteer camp counselors, because by that point I had already applied and been hired to serve as the marketing and volunteer specialist, which included the recruitment and retention of volunteers in various roles, including the volunteer camp counselor role. So I was there at camp every day, 2 weeks, day camp, and meeting those youngsters. At the time, they were early grade school years, some of them 7, 6, and fast forward, many of those early on campers from when I started my career are now out of college and beginning their lives, beginning their careers. And it's heartwarming. It's so gratifying to know that their participation in Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind's camps and skills training has given them the confidence, the abilities, and empowered them to continue forward in making their dreams reality. Yeah, it's
Well, it's
great.
being a part of someone's journey, especially early on. It's just you set people on a new path in life, and
Yes.
it's such meaningful work. So I'm just so glad that's what you get to do each and every day. So, and I always love asking this question: what comes to mind when you hear the word accessibility?
Access. Access to, you name it, access to information, whether it's accessibility online, being able to access information by accessing it through your desktop, through your mobile devices, whether it's access to transportation, access to employment. Those are all relevant entry points for the word accessibility, and it's essential.
I full-heartedly agree with that. And is there one thing that you wish people knew more about the blind and low vision community?
Yes. Yes, great question, Josh. And this is an area that I hone in on when I host volunteer orientations for volunteer candidates. It's an area I hone in on when I present information about Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind to the community at large and different stakeholders. And it's the notion that there is not a one size that fits all within our community. I'm visually impaired, and we serve other individuals who have visual impairments. And perhaps what I might be able to easily see or not easily see, or what might not I be recognizable for me could be recognizable for other individuals. What technology I use might not be beneficial for other individuals, and vice versa. So it's really knowing the individual and always asking, as a good Samaritan, how you can be of service to that person, always seeking ways to add value and not make assumptions that the person you have just met at Metro has this disability, and the person you just met through Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind has a similar disability, so they have the same needs. They need the same accommodations, and that is not the case.
A custom
Right?
approach definitely makes it
Yeah.
so that each variable can take in with consideration, and then providing services that really fit that person. I feel like that's not only kind of the only approach, but it's really the best approach. Like if you put everybody into the same bucket, you don't get the same result that way. You're the more you can do for them and fit them and customize it, it's just becomes that much better. And I'd love to know. Can you tell us a little bit more about Columbia Lighthouse for the Blinds? Where are we now? Podcast.
Yes, thank you, Josh, for asking that question. This spring marks 3 years, 2021, that we introduced Where Are We Now? I had the idea of creating a one time webinar called Where Are We Now to reconnect with the community amid the global pandemic. And when we produced the one time webinar, it was so fun and manageable. And it was a great creative exercise for me and my colleagues and the community we invited to participate. I recognized that it was a way that we could continue reconnecting with the community by introducing it again as a digital series where it would be audio and not in the webinar format. And voila, 3 years later, it's a recurring series and multiple episodes we've hosted and we enjoy it. I enjoy working with team members to determine the subject matters and how we will highlight our successes and connect to individuals who might be in need of services and recognize the consumers who've come into Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind and the successes that they have had due to their connection to our organization and the services that they have received. So, Where We Now is a great product that really lets the community at large know all that CLB has accomplished in a set period of time, again, while recognizing the community we serve and introducing some cool technology along the way.
Well, it's beautiful conversations, and the coolest part about, I think, Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind is where are we now? Each and every time you're updating the community, you're doing something new, or you're continuing to do good work, and I love knowing where are you now because I always get to learn more and see the good work that you're doing. So thank you for that. And
Thank you.
what is a message that you could give to the business community to do more around the blind and low vision community?
I invite the business community to keep your doors open and listen to us when we call out via outreach directly to us. We want to have a continued two-way communication with our business leaders as it pertains to corporate sponsorships, corporate volunteerism, employment of people with disabilities, and accessibility. The need for enhanced accessibility of collateral, whether it's print, online material, so that our community specifically has access to the information that businesses are distributing to the general public.
I feel like it always comes back to access and being
It
able to
does.
continue to have the right conversations. And
Absolutely.
my last question for today is, as the internet use increases, what are some things that you'd like to occur online?
This is a great question. I would welcome and look forward to increased consistency of accessibility online. I know that through the great work of accessiBe, through the great work of Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind, and so many other leaders in this space, that we are continuing to elevate the need, the messaging for consistency with regards to web development and forward facing communication, because often we access a website and it might be suitable and obtainable for information gathering and information inputting, but then some sites might not be as current with the times as another site. So it's just this constant back and forth. But I look forward to the day where there is that consistent representation for the benefit
I,
of us all,
I think that's well said.
specifically people with
That consistency leads to confidence. It's not so like if you don't have consistency every day, you're like you don't know what you're gonna be thrown at next, or like what
right,
experience you're gonna have. And it's if you're gonna have
right,
consistency, then we're more likely to have consistent good experiences.
right.
Jocelyn, thank you so much for being our guest today on accessiBe Spotlight Sessions. I really, really appreciate your time and your insights.
Oh, thank you. Always a pleasure to connect with you, Josh, and your team at accessiBe. And we are enjoying the refreshed CLB website, clb.org, and happy to report that it is accessible through accessiBe's widget. So thank you for your technology and for your support of Columbia Lighthouse for the Blind.
Thank you, Jocelyn. And to all of our guests, thank you for staying to the end. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us at accessiBe_community. And as always, thank you for being on this journey with us. Thanks, Jocelyn. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.